back to the Around the Block Sports Show. Today, we have an MLB show for the first time in a little while. Free agency has been going on. It's been a little quiet, but more importantly, we have some big trades going on. Number one being the Padres making a huge splash. Uh, they went in and they got Blake Snell. They got Yu Darvish. What do we think?
Great move for the Padres. They're going to be contenders in the NL West. Look out, Dodgers. I also think the Rays got some good return. They got some great prospects from one of the best prospect systems in the league. So really a win-win trade for both teams. Like Padres have a great rotation now. They have Paddock, they have Snell, Darvish. They could get Bauer still, who knows? But it's just they're headed in the right direction. They're going to be a playoff force.
Yeah, I mean, definitely you look at that roster and you definitely say the weak part a little bit is starting pitching. And, you get those two solid aces. I mean, Yu Darvish, obviously, he had his woes, but he's coming off a Cy Young season, potential Cy Young season for him. And Blake Snell obviously played amazing in the playoffs along to the World Series. Obviously, got pulled when he probably shouldn't have gotten pulled in that late game. Any other reactions to that beyond what do we think Snell is going to bring to them?
Well, Snell will obviously bring them a good pitching anchor, I guess. They can rely on him. Last season they were relying a lot on Paddock, and he wasn't doing so hot. I mean, the offense was great, but definitely the pitching was the weak spot. Now it's not anymore.
So what's a disappointing season for them? Are they championship or bust right here?
I would say they're NLCS or bust.
That's fair. I think that they definitely should be contending. I mean, there's teams out there that's like, the Dodgers are going to be still out there with Mookie, and they're going to be back. So should be interesting to see what they're doing.
Personally, I think this move brings them above the Braves, who were my number 2 team before this. So definitely an NLCS or bust, like I said before.
Braves suck. They're trash.
No, they don't.
They're like, they just blow. They just choke everything. Just like it's not good. It is not good to see.
It'll be interesting to see how Freddy Freeman comes off that MVP campaign, or he won the MVP. So, but they also have a great rotation as well. They have Soroka. They have, why am I blanking? But they have a great rotation, just equally matches the Padres, I would argue. But yeah, definitely going to be a good playoffs out in the National League.
Yeah, it should be interesting. Next, just a couple days ago, yesterday actually, we had a huge blockbuster trade. We had Francisco Lindor and Carlos Carrasco both going to the Mets. What do we think about them? They're an organization. They didn't want to spend a lot of money, got new ownership, and now they're shelling out their big prospects to get them.
Yeah, so they gave away some considerable returns, so not a complete loss for the Indians. They gave away Ahmed Rosario, Andres Jimenez, Josh Wolf, and Isaiah Green. But definitely it's not even an argument that the Mets won this trade. Come on. Like Lindor fills a great hole at shortstop. They're going to be a force in the NL East. That division's so competitive now.
Honestly, Lindor is like underrated, to be honest. Like, I like to say he's anything but the best shortstop in the league. I think is a little difficult to say. I mean, I don't know what you think, but
I think Tatis is a little better, but Lindor is definitely number 2.
That's fair. I mean, Tatis still has a way to go. So if he's not, obviously there's considerable growth that he can make that will launch him above Lindor. But I mean, I'll ask you the same question here. What's a disappointing season? What's the goal for this Mets team?
I think a disappointing season would be, I'm going to say missing out on the playoffs, because I don't know. Like the Braves are probably going to win that division, I would say. So if they don't get the wild card, it's probably a disappointment for them.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. They have good pitching. They're getting their hitting rotation a little better, but yeah, it was really, there was some hitters just not hitting last year, and you get Carrasco too. He helps with the rotation, and also one of probably their biggest flaw was that horrible bullpen with the
Edwin Diaz.
the man of the year, the save man. So,
But Carlos Carrasco, the only thing I'm cautioning is that contract is a nightmare for the Mets. So I don't know if they're going to be able to get more people this offseason or even next offseason.
yeah, I mean, it'll definitely be interesting to see. I mean, yeah, you see that Steve Cohen, he might be willing to shell out the big bucks to get the big players, and usually the best players win World Series. So we'll have to see how they pan out.
I actually have a question for you. How do you think this is going to impact the Yankees and like that crosstown rivalry?
Oh, they're done. They're done. No, I mean, I don't know. I don't think the Yankees. I mean, first of all, obviously they're in different leagues. It's like it's kind of a different like it just doesn't feel like a real like rivalry when they only play like X amount of games, and then they come to town, and obviously come to town, they like take the train over, and it's obviously big, but I mean, I don't think the Yankees would be phased in any way. I think they're gonna stay the course, run the playoffs, lose in the ALDS, and that's that. That's like what we've seen the last 11 years now at this point.
Yeah, but I'm loving like they've been showing like Brian Cashman, Michael Kay. They've all been like hesitating. They're all like getting anxious. So love to see that as Red Sox fans.
Of course, definitely.
That's gonna wrap it up. We will see you next week for some more NBA or MLB talk.